The battled through global health crisis and are squeezed by inflation, and now South Africa is once again feeling the strain hit by some of the worst ever power cuts. Small businesses are faced with loss of profits during load shedding, and because in most cases they require electricity to function and run their businesses. One of the salons in Johannesburg, Tembisa Township, Sister Zodwa said that she had to reduce businesses hours when the power goes off in what is called or what is known locally as load shedding. She can't provide basic services like hairdryer or hot water. Struggling state ESCOM implemented the so-called stages outages. What that meant was at least 6 hours a day without power for most South Africans. Co-owner of a fast food restaurant, Matonzi Matomela, says there was immediate impact.
We get a third of what we sell. If we sell 6,000, now we get 2,000. So we get a third of what we sell a day.
Matomela said he would be considering laying off staff if the power cuts continue.
Ihlelo sheding yang pora melong paging nama responsibility ngifuna imali nayi manje ibana zikho angisakwazi nokwenza into zami mina ngisazi ukuthi manje senza njani ngale ngayelo sheding yona is affected kakhulu yasi.
Load shedding seems to have hit university students the hardest during the crucial time in their studies. This comes as some of them can't study for their tests due to power outages. Community members are worried that without electricity they spend more money for alternative ways for them to eat.
My meat, it was rotten because of this load shedding. Another thing is also affecting the other side, like food for kids. There was no food because there is no electricity, so I need to take out some money to buy another food, which is costing.
Thousands of students in universities across the country are currently using online platforms or services to write exams because of coronavirus, but constantly power cuts are affecting the future of students. A 26 years old Millicent Mbambo is a third-year UNISA student. Mbambo was forced to abandon her exam due to power cuts. Her 2 hours exam was interrupted by power cuts after only 30 minutes. She said her exam missed as money and time wasted, as she has to try again next year.
Yesterday I was writing an exam at 11:30, and then load shedding. Electricity went off, I think around 12. I had to leave here because my laptop doesn't work without it being plugged. So I had to leave where I'm staying now to go and look for electricity. When I called my mom, she was at work, and I asked her, does she have electricity at work? And then she said she doesn't have electricity. Then I knew if my mom doesn't have electricity at work, definitely the whole of Germiston doesn't have electricity. So luckily I went home, and then I got my neighbor to borrow me the laptop so that I can carry on my exam. So in that time of me looking for electricity and phoning my mom and driving for a place where I can get electricity, that's time wasted of my exam.
Load shedding is an inconvenience not only to the economy but to those who aspire to reach their dreams. Students across the country have had to find alternative ways to have light during study time. They're urging government as well as the power utility to assist them by holding off on power cuts during exam time. Notando Makutulela.
In order to continue replenishing the emergency generation reserves, ESCOM regrets to inform the public that Stage 2 load shedding will be extended throughout the weekend until 5 a.m. on Thursday morning.
There's been a concern that load shedding and power cuts are fatal for patients that are on oxygen at their homes. The country has been experiencing power cuts because of ESCOM's power generation problems, as well as cable theft that has distributed the power supply to some areas. Hospitals have generators as well as backup power supply, but with COVID-19 putting a strain on hospital capacity, many patients have been shifted for home care.
And I think the challenge that is currently facing everyone else in the country does also affect us because our hospitals are located where communities are. Many of our hospitals are exempted from load shedding, as you correctly said, but as you have seen with this particular facility over the weekend, you do experience those challenges that are beyond even those arrangements. What we have done provincially is that we have ensured that there's regular maintenance now of the generators as a way of making sure that we've got that backup capacity. The issue around diesel supply, I know that in the past we've had challenges in terms of security of supply. We have dealt with those particular challenges to ensure that at least we're able to regularly continuously supply diesel to the facilities, and there's also uninterrupted power supply systems that some of these hospitals would have, but those are stopgap measures that take you for a shorter period of time. We recently, the MEC would have announced that we have made a plea to even the provincial government to have another engagement with all municipalities just to ensure that we close those agreements in terms of being exempted from load shedding. And also, you know that the provincial government, through the MEC for Treasury, did announce in May during the budget vote that there is a program of solar power which is going to start with about 11 facilities. And I think that in the long term, maybe might assist in terms of alleviating some of the pressures. But in the short term, we have to make do with the current reality that we find ourselves in. And our clinicians at facility level have to always make decisions that would then obviously be in the best interest of patients.
I feel that the councillor should be out there amongst the people to try and teach, also to encourage community members of the benefits of using solar energy. Because if we were to use solar energy as much as we possibly can, that way will help deal with the crisis that we're currently facing of load shedding. Also, households that are affected, because most households are affected in terms of appliances. They are getting damaged in terms of food as well, that's getting spoiled. And also small businesses are also negatively affected. So if the councillor was out there to encourage people to use solar energy and to take advantage of that, then I really think that it would be a great deal.
There are many causes for why power outages occurs. However, the three most common causes are natural causes, human errors, and overload. Basically, any interruption between power generation and supply of electricity to homes can cause a power outage. South Africans must start learning new skills together about load shedding. Firstly, to increase the supply, such as building new power stations. The second is to decrease demand, such as encouraging customers to switch off appliances or switching to renewable energy sources. Eskom is committed to recovering its operational performance and will not compromise any philosophy maintenance. It commits to keeping South Africans informed early in the event that load shedding is necessary.